But those were my purchases. Oh, and then my other purchase was I did buy a hobby. Well, it's not technically a hobby box. It's a box of Bowman 2022 baseball first edition
Nice.
directly from Tops for $399.99. So I'll let you tell me what I did wrong there, and also tell me why I still might be okay, because you know a lot more about
Yeah.
what's potentially in that box than I do.
So this is kind of the it's Top's little play to make just a slight little margin more on their Bowman product, and it works. Here's why: because people are so pumped about getting these first players, and I think the people that are buying this Bowman first product, or the Bowman, what's it called? Just so I can get the language right.
First edition.
Yeah, the first edition Bowman. The people that are buying that, I would assume that they're all investors, because what they're wanting to do is they're wanting to get the first Jack Leiter or the first what's that dude that's on the Marlins? Shoot. They're wanting to get the first ones of these products, the first Bowman first, the first Bowman colored maybe on eBay, and so that they can kind of be the guy who's leading the market in that area. So what they're doing here is they're making a distinction by having, mostly these are paper products. So what we've talked about just recently by you saying that you bought an Aqua F1, these are, for the most part, you're not going to find a lot of chromes in here. This is the first paper product. It's you're going to have value here though, which is a fun play. For instance, when this first launched, I've told you before, but I'm huge on Jordan Lawler. So the shortstop that got drafted last year in Arizona, I'm huge on him. And I knew that I was going to be huge on him. And so I knew that I was going to have to big in draft 2021, because I knew that I wanted to get a Jordan Lawler card, whether that's a first or a chrome first or an auto first. I just wanted some Jordan Lawler because he was one of my favorite prospects coming out of high school in Texas, and I knew his cards were going to be in that draft 21. And I knew that I wasn't going to want to pay the price for buying a single on eBay. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just try to get in some Jordan Lawler or Arizona breaks in that early. But what I was able to do was I was able to buy a Jordan Lawler first paper first edition before the 22 came out, but I did have to pay like $30 for it. And now I'm like, okay, like if you look at it that way, this is a paper first product that most of the time is going for $2, $3, $4. I think Torkelson's is like maybe $20, his paper first, but that first edition little circle logo on it, especially right before the new release comes out, so you have like a month window that you can rip and flip. That's how I'm saying it. If you're a rip and flipper, then rip this and flip this. Yes, that's the card that I bought. And so that little first edition logo, it's the first edition blue logo in the bottom left. It's always in the same spot. Well, it could be on the bottom right, depending on the card's little disposition. But it's not the first Bowman logo that's in the top right or the top left. It's always right above the name, and it's always on the bottom part of the card. That's where you're going to find that first edition. And typically that means that is kind of like the most first edition cards that are coming on the market. It's typically more expensive. It's typically all paper, and it's typically there's not a lot of autographs for what I know in it, because Bowman doesn't like to put in their most valuable cards in this set alone, because typically they are going to really blow out that Bowman Baseball 22, where they're going to sell that all year long. So they're going to kind of place the hits. They're not going to place them in like the first 5 boxes, basically. Let's put it that way. And so it is a good play if you're if you're a rip and flipper. But if you are a guy who's trying to buy a certain player long term, the more high-end cards are going to be in that baseball Bowman 22, and you won't have to necessarily pay as much for a non-hobby box product. So it's there's 2 different ways of doing it. If you're trying to flip it, you did a good play. So I would assume that's what you're trying to do. So
Yeah, and these are going for so I bought it for $399. They're going for about $525 right now on the secondary market on eBay.
Yeah.
Holding this up because I want everybody to be able to see what Kendall was talking about. So I think I did okay, and I think there'll be some good cards in there, but it wasn't what I thought it was when I bought it. And then
Did you have it
when
shipped
I
to
was
you?
checking in with you afterward, I had it shipped to the vault, so
Okay, so you're
I
not
can
gonna
I
flip
can
them.
TBD on that. It depends. So Tops hasn't shipped them out yet. That's why, like, if you go try to buy them on eBay right now, it says like confirmed
Yeah,
order, but it's like a
yeah.
pre-sale kind of thing
Mm-hmm.
still. Um, I don't know if anyone has them in hand yet. They haven't shipped mine. So I might list it when I get it and see what I can get for it. Um, but I'll probably do a little bit more research before I do that. There's no checklist released for it. That's the other thing is like Bowman doesn't appear to actually have released a checklist for this. It's kind of like it's saying like it's vague. It's like it's the same checklist for 2022 Bowman, but there's no 2022 Bowman out either.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just not finding it, but
No,
I
no,
don't
they
see it
don't
yet as
typically.
of this recording.
Typically with this product, they don't release a checklist until almost right when it comes out. Because
Yeah.
the reason
So
why is
it
they're
is
gathering
different. This is
these
like a
they're a reason why is they're gathering all these players autographs and sticker autos right now, and so they're trying to put not as much redemption, they're trying to put as least amount of redemption cards as they can in these, and so they kind of wait till like the very last second to just fill it, which I'm sure is a logistical nightmare for for Tops.
yeah.
But I, I'd be interested to interview a Tops project manager or something like that to be like, how do you get all these cards back from these players? I think that would be a super interesting
Yeah,
conversation.
that would be
Yeah.
amazing. Somebody should do some content around that from either Tops or Panini or Fanatics or some
Mm-hmm.
they need to make that would be interesting content rather than some of the stuff they put out right now, just like pictures of cards and stuff. But um was Khalil Watson
Yeah, that's what I'm
perhaps the
talking
guy
about.
that you
Yeah.
were referring to?
Yep.
Okay.
Khalil.
Khalil Watson, shortstop prospect
Thanks for that.
from North Carolina, Wake Forest High School. He was the 16th overall pick, right? Yeah, 10 picks after your guy, Jordan Lawler. He was
There is some
there was Brady House was taken 11th, and then
love Brady House.
Khalil.
Yep.
So
There's
so
so many good players in this draft. So many. Such a good draft class.
yeah. So I'm excited. So I think that was the reason why I pulled trigger. Is I was like, oh, Bowman, oh, like exclusive, oh, whatever. Like, and like I just think I kind of blew my load a little early on this one, but I think I'll be okay.
Yeah,
I think I'll be okay.
depending on what you want to do with it, 100% you could flip this on eBay sealed. You could probably get $200 on
Yeah,
that in about a month, like, because there are people that are going to be breaking this product, which is crazy. I don't know how, like, from a breaker's perspective, if you're buying these, first off, that's a huge investment, and there's not a whole lot of cards from a breaker's perspective. Like, you're not breaking 1,000 cards, like you're breaking, I mean, I think there's like 250 cards in this thing. Like, and so you're having people pay super high amounts of money per break slot for this. And then you're probably not that many cards. So the value per card slot, if you're looking at like a dollar cost average for that play for the breaking perspective, that's not really a great play, especially if you are buying into breaks. Like, I would always suggest for people to buy into breaks to take the emotion out of it and look at the dollar cost average of per card that you're paying for this break. Like, sometimes it's worth it, like if you're like on a really high end product, but for the average product, if you're not getting somewhere between like $1 or $2 per cost average, I would say you're paying a little too much for a break. That's probably another
yeah.
another quote another topic for another time. But anyway.
This has been great, Kendall. Good work, man. Everybody, thanks for watching and listening. We really would love it if you help grow the audience by subscribing to the YouTube channel, sharing the episode on social media. Follow us on Instagram at Sports Card Strategy. Go to nooffseason.com. Check out the Sports Card Investment Report. Follow at Wild Cards Trading on Instagram. Go to the Facebook group, Wild Cards Box Breaks on Facebook. Go to the Facebook group by going to sportscardstrategy.com and join the Facebook group. Click on the link. And of course, last but not least, go to marketmoversapp.com by Sports Card Investor. Use the promo code NOOFFSEASON and you will get either a bonus 2-week trial or you will save 20% on your first month. Kendall McKee, thank you so much for joining me. Everybody, have a great day and we will see you back here soon.
See you later, guys.